What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Mid-Level Media. I am Ken, and over the weekend, I started to notice an interesting story developing around Targets and their removal of physical media from their stores. Now, it's no secret to anybody. This is nothing new. Target's been removing physical media out of their stores for probably the last 2 or 3 years. I feel like every couple of months I go in there and I noticed a new section that's been removed, or an aisle that's been halved, or an entire rack that's been taken off altogether. Like, I used to go into Target and I could walk down at least 1, 2, maybe 3 rows of physical media. There's one Target that I go to that is just an end cap now. That is just a regular standee, and that is it. That's all we have at that Target. But there's another Target that I go to usually when I do my Blu-ray hunting videos, and I've been doing those less frequently than I did definitely in a year and a half ago lately, but I still do them probably once or twice a month. I try to get out there. So, but I've noticed at this one Target, it's a full, rack. It's a full, end cap stand where it has the 4 corners. I don't know exactly what you call those. And then there's like an entire half row. There's an entire half row, and then that wraps around to another half of the other half of that row. So I guess it's 3/4 of a row at that Target, which is probably the most that I've seen out of any Target in my area. I've been to a few other Targets, and they all seem to just have that end cap. So what's being reported now, though, and I also, look, I asked people on my Instagram account, I put up a story that said, is this happening in your Target? And I cited this story that comicbooktv.com, comicbook.com is sharing. They're the ones that's reporting on this story. I also seen, I'm a subscriber of John Campy, and I also seen him post something about it today, and I watched his video on it. But I'm not really seeing a ton of people talking about this situation. But I know it's a real thing because I put this story up on my Instagram account. I've got tons of physical media fans following me, and I got like 20 to 25 responses within the first 30 minutes of me putting up this story that either said yes, they just flat out removed physical media from my Target over the weekend, or they said they drastically diminished it. But what I find to be the most interesting is not just the diminishing of the physical media Targets. We've all had that over the past year or two at Target, but just the flat out removal of physical media altogether, because I'm hearing people saying that they don't have anything in their Targets anymore. There's no Blu-rays, there's no DVDs, there's no 4Ks, there's nothing. They took it out completely and reformed the section around just vinyl records and books, which, look, those are still physical media items too. So I'm happy to see that at least books and vinyl records are having their moments right now. And I think the main reason for that is because there's no real reading service, and people, that the whole thing where you're going to read a book off of like a Kindle or something like that, an e-reader, like that whole fad went away very quickly. People like holding the book in their hands when they're reading. So I think that's why books are just timeless. Those will never go away. But I think a lot of people believe, I don't believe this personally, that streaming has replaced physical media. That there is no need to own movies anymore physically because you have these streaming services. So it's kind of a different thing, right, with people. They didn't see the e-reader as being a replacement for books, but they see these streaming services and owning movies digitally as a replacement for owning physical disc. And vinyl is just a whole thing. Like, that thing's just taken on a whole life of its own. And I think that's because the quality of vinyl is just so much better than that you'll get off of the radio or any kind of like Apple iPod or whatever. I'm not into the music side of things, guys. I don't know all the different technologies that people have nowadays. Is an iPod still a thing? Anyway, I'm going off on a tangent again, like I always do. Let's get back to Target and their removal of Blu-rays and 4Ks and DVDs, physical media movies from their media section. So let me start reading this story right here. So this article on comicbook.com says that some Target stores reportedly no longer selling DVDs, Blu-rays, or CDs. So they're saying that they removed CDs as well. The big box retailer has emptied DVD shelves at a number of locations, but it doesn't appear to be an across-the-board policy change. Yeah, and I can almost guarantee I'll go into my Target tomorrow because I do plan to go out. And I'll go to the media section and the Target I usually go to, and I bet everything's still there. So I think that this is happening at the Targets where there has been just the one stand for the longest time because those targets have been preparing to remove the physical media. I have no idea like why just out of some targets. Like I don't understand that. Why not do it across the board? Why do some targets get to keep it and some don't? It's just kind of weird to me. But if somebody can explain that in the comment section below. But I bet if I go to the Target like on the other side of town, that just has the standee in my area, I bet that is probably removed. Maybe I will go out there just to check tomorrow and get some like on the boots on the ground coverage of this situation. But yeah, it's definitely, I don't think it's alarming as a physical media fan because we've always known that this was going to happen. Like that's just where the industry has moved to, right? It's moved more online. It's gone more boutique. It's gone more collector. And to be honest, like I've just started buying more stuff online the last couple of years anyway. Like I rarely pick up stuff in person anymore. It breaks my heart because I've just always loved going to the store to pick up stuff physically. I love the thrill of the hunt. I love going to thrifting stores and stuff like that. And I just don't do that as much anymore because I don't go out as much anymore because there's just no need to. All these stores just continuously disappoint me, but I still go out from time to time because I do like just picking the movie up in person. There's just something about it. But yeah, let me continue to read this article. Sorry, guys. Again, I'm going off on a tangent. So this article continues to say some Target stores have reportedly stopped selling DVDs, Blu-rays, CDs in their stores, removing displays in the part of the store where they sell other physical media like books and vinyl records. This move is not entirely unexpected. The retailer, which had significant amount of space dedicated to movies and music until 2021 or so. Yes, I can attest to that because I was in the store in 2019 and 2020, and Target's had at least 3 rows of movies and all kinds of like end caps and stuff for different like holiday themed, releases that were coming out. Like if Halloween was coming up, they had like 2 whole rows of like Halloween movies and stuff like that. It was crazy. I mean, Walmart too. Like Walmart has drastically diminished their physical media section. We know Best Buy has as well. So this is not just Target, but yeah, this is the first, record of a store just completely removing physical media. So that's why I'm covering it here today. So yeah, has been reducing the footprint of its disc sales for the last few years, but it's surprising in that it comes now as physical media seems to be experiencing a bit of a renaissance. I mean, I wouldn't exactly say that just because Disney decided to put out a couple of their shows. But anyway, with a number of Disney Plus shows coming to Blu-ray for the first time and some pretty big and notable box sets on the way. Of course, that's all in the United States. This was also a recent report that Disney would stop selling discs altogether in Australia. And again, what I meant by that, not exactly experiencing a renaissance. I don't feel like physical media has really like truly gone away. So I feel like they're thinking that just because Disney decided to put out a couple of their shows, like we're having this physical media renaissance and it's going super mainstream again. That's what I mean by that. Of course, like I believe that physical media is as strong as it's ever been. I just don't know like when it's going to be going like mainstream again. I don't think that I don't want to say that Disney's responsible for physical media going mainstream again by saying they're bringing upon a new physical media renaissance. I think that's kind of ridiculous. But anyway, and yeah, they talk about removing discs from Australia. Earlier this year, an informal study indicated that there were more movies and TV shows available on disc in 2023 than ever before. That is true. I mean, look at what look, guys, I discuss this stuff every single week on Physical Media Report. I covered like at least 80 titles coming out this week, brand new this week coming out. Like that is absolutely crazy. There's hundreds of releases coming out every single month in the US, overseas. There's at least 300 or 400 titles coming out every single month. Like it is absolutely crazy right now. The outputs of physical media in 2023. But that many of those releases were not coming from big studios. Indie movies, custom projects like school sports and local media, and even bootlegs being distributed online have stepped up to fill in the gap market. See, they're discussing the bootleg problem that we have right now. Not really a problem. They're fulfilling the gap, like they said. They're doing what the studios will not do, what they refuse to do, and I support it. Target has not made an official announcement on the matter and continues to sell a wide variety of movies and music on their website. However, there have been a number of reports on social media, some including photos of empty shelving units. Yeah, I mean, like I said, that just beyond this article, like I put this up on my Instagram 20 people, at least 10 to 15 of those people that replied to that said, yes, they removed physical media flat out from my store. There is nothing left in my store. So I'm getting this from actual people that went to stores, this information. So yeah, just crazy, guys. And I'm gonna put, and again, if you're out there watching this video, like comment down below. Are you having this problem in your location? Let me know in the comment section. I would definitely be interested in that. A call to one New York store indicated that they still had a section, mostly Blu-rays and 4K discs, but some standard DVDs, and had no knowledge of plans to change that. They wouldn't. I don't think most of the regular employees like have any knowledge of this stuff. I think they just come in one day and they're like, let's pull it all out. They called us and they told us to do it. They're like, okay, boss, let's do it. Best Buy recently removed the home video section from their stores, with the only physical media still in most locations being records and video games. Walmart, Target's closest competitor, has also reduced the footprint of physical media in stores over the last few years, but in most cases, they maintain a section that's 2 to 3 times as large as Target's, and still have a lot of bargain discs, both on seasonal end caps and in their notorious bargain bins. So yeah, I mean, Walmart, look, has drastically decreased their section in my locations. So I would even say that my Walmart that I go to on a regular basis and the Target that I go to on a regular basis, there's not like 3 times difference between those two. Like Target has almost as much as the Walmart does, because we have that one main end cap in Walmart. We have that whole section that goes all the way down. You know, some of the bargain bins on Target doesn't have the bargain bins. So they do have that advantage, but that's pretty much it. So I would say that Walmart is pretty comparable to Target, at least in my area, as far as physical media, because that Walmart that I go to right now used to have 3 aisles, and they used to have multiple like end caps and areas that wrapped all the way around. They had steelbook sections, they had 4K sections, they had Shout Factory sections, like they had steelbook bins. Like it was crazy. Just 3 years ago, guys, just 3 freaking years ago, physical media stores was crazy. You could find tons of it. And now it's just like 3 years later, they're removing it from the stores. And it sucks, but it is a sign of the times. That's where things are moving. You know, we just got to keep fighting. We just got to keep fighting the good fight. We got to show them that we want this stuff, that it's still important, and wait for the normies to figure it out as well. And maybe we'll start getting some cool releases back in our stores. Even though, you know, Walmart, look, they're putting out all kinds of great exclusives. There's word of them taking over a lot of the distribution rights, you know, for physical media, certain physical media labels and studio titles. So I think, again, physical media is alive and well. It's just moving more towards an online market. It's just, we're not going to get to go to the stores anymore as much and pick up these movies physically. You know, Best Buy's got at least a year or 2 tops. You're not going to be able to walk into a Best Buy and pick up a disc. I can almost guarantee it. They're not going to sell this stuff in stores anymore. I think that Walmart, I feel like you'll always be able to go into a Walmart and pick up a physical media disc, a DVD, or I say always, at least like the next 10, 15 years, as long as there's physical media is still being pumped out at the rate it is from studios and like big titles and stuff. I think you're still going to get physical media in the Walmart stores at least. But Best Buy and Target, that's going away completely. The next 2 or 3 years, we're not going to see any movies in Best Buy or Target. I can almost guarantee that. But yeah, guys, that's the video. It sucks. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. I mean, I discovered this a year and a half ago. I kind of saw all this stuff coming because I used to do the Blu-ray hunting videos every single week on my channel. It was a tradition. I loved doing it. And then it got to the point where I would go in there wouldn't be anything stocked. They kept reducing the sections. I'm just like, why am I putting myself through this every single week? I'm just coming out here to bitch about no physical media being in stores and empty store shelves. And it just got ridiculous. And it's like, I'm just going to stop doing this every week. I'm going to start ordering more stuff online. And that's what I'm going to do. And now I'm into more boutique labels and ordering overseas. And it's just, that's where it's gone, guys. If you want cool physical media releases, you know, if you're watching this channel for the first time, and you're just somebody that goes in the stores and grabs the newest Blu-ray and you don't really know about all the other stuff that's coming out, definitely, like I said, subscribe to the channel. I talk about all this new cool stuff, all this new cool shit that comes out every single week, and I can educate you on it and let you know what's coming out. So if you just, you know, hit that subscribe button. Some movies that you love that you didn't know had these great special edition releases, they're all online. They're all online. They're all ready. They're all sitting there waiting for you to pick them up. Online, you can't go in the stores and pick them up anymore, but you can go online and pick them up. But anyway, guys, that's the video. Thank you all so much for watching and entertaining my nonsense here today. I just kind of wanted to get on here unedited, on StreamYard, recorded, and just put this out into the world. Thank you all so much for watching. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. Turn on all those bell notifications for all of those future videos, and we'll see you next time.